Hi there, I'm Christina. I hope you all are doing well. And I'm curious to know, do you feel as though 2020 has lived up to your expectations? Or are you like most people who feel as though 2020 has been somewhat of a nightmare? I feel like on this one we're probably all on the same page. And we all have different ways that we were combating our stress during this year. One common thing that people began to do during this year, though, to combat stress was play Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is a simple game that this year turned into a phenomenon. The reason behind this is that Animal Crossing is an unproblematic and peaceful world during a time of chaos. And with that, I'd like to get into why Animal Crossing is an example of our present-day vision of what a utopia should be. My first example of why Animal Crossing would represent a utopian society is the system of how the community works within the game is flawless. The game is different from most in that there is no lingering danger, there's no impeding doom, or an overall quest that you have to partake in. There are no bad guys to battle. None of the inhabitants of Animal Crossing fear for their lives. They're not concerned with their fate. And this is identical to that of a utopian society, in that the citizens do not fear the outside world. The animals in Animal Crossing live in harmony, just as a utopia would be. There's no strife between animals, and it's never the player's job to settle any disputes. With the lack of conflict, one could even say that Animal Crossing is an example of world peace, which is the ultimate utopian dream. Reasons to this are that world peace is defined by a lack of exclusion, and no one's excluded in Animal Crossing. Another attribute of world peace is that men and women are treated equally, which is also true in Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing represents a utopia in the way that those living in the realm of the game have true freedom. You're permitted to go wherever you like. The game encourages you to explore on a non-sequential fashion, and you can take as much time as you like and pick wherever you want to go. The game gives a relaxed feel to any tasks offered to you. This promotes the player to choose their own path and do what they want to do versus what they feel like they would have to do. Having the freedom to do what you enjoy is another part of a utopian society. In Animal Crossing, individuality is welcomed. The player may dress or decorate their property however they desire. Different players may complete their tasks differently, but there's no shame, whichever path you choose. Innovative thinking is also encouraged, just as in a utopian society. There are many ways to complete a task. For example, if you have a friend who wants a fish, you could go catch a fish, or you could go buy a fish, or you could just choose to not give your friend the fish at all. Furthermore, whatever choice that you choose, there will be no negative repercussions. Animal Crossing embodies an ecological utopia. An ecological utopia is one where the citizens and nature work together in harmony. The other citizens of Animal Crossing consist of a large variety of animals. This enforces the idea that Animal Crossing would be an ecological utopia because society and nature are one. The citizens meet their needs through the resources around them. When they're hungry, they go and gather fruit or they catch fish. They often trade for goods using things such as flowers, cotton, or even bugs. An ecological utopia works to reverse the effects of industrialization. In Animal Crossing, you reap many benefits by planting your own plants and harvesting their goods. This is an example of how Animal Crossing would promote the reversing of industrialization. In Animal Crossing, the citizens are resourceful, using nature to their benefit without harming their natural surroundings. Lastly, Animal Crossing must be a utopian society because the player of the game is the perfect depiction of a utopian hero. A utopian hero is often an outsider learning about the new society. As the player who is new to Animal Crossing, you are learning about this world in order to better play the game. In the beginning, you are taught by a non-player character how to navigate the game. The utopian hero usually feels as though the society that they are living in is always getting better. And as a player, one's prerogative is to continuously make the character's property a better space to live in. And arguably, one of the best parts about Animal Crossing is that there's so many ways in which the Animal Crossing world can be a better place for your character. Overall, one can conclude that the idea of Utopia and the Animal Crossing game are similar in a number of ways. This includes the perfect system of living, the freedom permitted to the player, the ways the citizens live in harmony with nature, and the fact that the player is a well-fit example as a utopian hero. Feel free to let me know how you feel about the comparison of Animal Crossing to a utopian society. And don't forget, being a dreamer always pays off.